Hey, Scrap and Ames fans, welcome back to another process video. I have this very bright, fun layout to share with you today. 4 photos in this one, so it's a bit of a big layout as such. And not something I would normally do. I think 4 photos, maybe maxed has been 3, at least not at this size. But I thought I would give it a go instead of turning it into a PL spread. So the 4 photos are of my daughter doing 4 very different poses. She actually was doing it to make me laugh. At the time these photos were taken, was quite unwell with COVID, and my kids were looking after me and doing some funny faces and doing crazy stuff just to make mum laugh and feel better. So as you can see, she's wearing mostly black. There's not a lot of bright colours in this layout, which gave me a bit of a chance to, a bit like a black and white photo, play around with what colours I wanted to use across the layout, so it made it a bit multicoloured, which was good. I also thought I'd use this photo or camera backing paper just because I thought it suited what she was doing, a few striker pose. As you can see, though, I am matting my photos on some black cardstock. Now, this is just general sort of coloured cardstock. I wouldn't probably use this as a background paper, just because the cardstock isn't as thick, I guess, and good quality as, say, some of the papers. But that's just my personal opinion. But it's perfect for matting and things like that. Now, I had a heap of scraps sitting beside me around my desk that I wanted to use up. I didn't want to throw out. As you can see here, I've cut into this. This is a art print from Enki Quill's Patreon. And as you can see, it's cut into, as is the other piece near it. Actually don't know what I made. Obviously something to do with the centre of it. Oh, maybe I did a cut file backing, actually. Maybe that would explain the odd shape. But anyway, so as I said, it's a bit of a funky layout, but kind of almost grungy, and I guess that goes with what she's wearing. It's very, that very grungy kind of look, I guess. She likes the darker kind of colours, just like her mummy used to when I was a teenager. Now you can see here, making this edging a bit rough. Now the words on this paper are really perfect. They're really sort of, really nice kind of feel-good kind of thing. So I just, was feeling like this was her. This is my quirky little girl. She's a bit crazy. She's certainly has her own personality and whatnot. So yeah, it just fitted in very well. That's kind of the idea, I guess, behind the layout in the end. All a bit crazy, fun, be yourself kind of thing. Now, I did fluff around for ages in regards to placement of my photos because the 4 were there and they're slightly large. They're obviously not 4x6 photos. I think they're 3x4. I did not know whether or not I was going to try and do like a strip across the middle. I didn't like the look of that. And yeah, so I did obviously cut out a fair bit of my fluffing around and get this in the end down. I kind of got a bit frustrated and was like, right, let's just do it. Let's just put them down, go with it and see how we go. Because sometimes you just can't be too perfect. As you see, fighting double-sided tape because my ATG is in the house, not in my craft room. It's part of my couch scrapping kit. I rather use my ATG for couch scrapping because it's less mess. Although and sometimes this can be more of a fight, but it is less mess than I find with double-sided tape because you haven't got all those bits, so I don't need a lot of, bins or scrap bin. Alright, so just, as you can see, just sticking it down, different kind of way of layering things, and I decided to go with distressing the edges. So I have this little tool here, just to give a bit of a roughness to the edges of the photo. Again, it's just going with that real grungy kind of look, so roughing everything up and making it just a little bit different. Added some craft foam here. It's a bright yellow craft foam. You can see it's an adhesive one on one side and then not on the other, obviously. So just to make my photos pop a little bit more. I guess because there isn't a lot of colour in the photos, so they don't sort of just go bam in your face kind of thing, I wanted them to pop a bit more and be obviously the focal point for the layout. I really like how this layout ended up turning out. I kind of was winging it a little bit. I did have some supplies with me. I think I had, you'll see, I have a couple of different collections and mixes of products with me around me on my desk to decide what I was going to use. So I hadn't, so this is the Cocoa Vanilla No Limits, which is one of their boy collections, I think, that they brought out a while ago now. And I hadn't really used it. And it sits there, and I don't scrap a lot of my boy because he's, 16, so trying to get a photo can be challenging. So I wanted to give it a crack on this layout. And as you can see, just because it's essentially marketed potentially as a boy kind of layout, it doesn't have to be, gender specific. So I just pulled out bits and pieces, phrases and things like that, just that I thought would suit this layout and my idea and my theme for it. I wanted my girl to look at this when she's looking through her album or when she sees it in, before I file it away. And I just want it to be a feel-good kind of layout, like, this is who you are, it's all good, be who you are kind of thing. We're very big on that, be an individual and, be yourself, your true self. And then here you can see I've got a container here full of mixed bits and pieces left over from previous Flutter by Design, which was an Australian little store that no longer exists, unfortunately. There are a few little sweary pieces on here, and I think I do get a little sticker with a little sweary piece on it, but that's okay. She's old enough to know I wouldn't put it on a baby layout, but it's okay for this one. So yeah, as you can see, lots of random bits and pieces, mainly Aussie stuff. And even here, this is my folder full of Inky Quill printables from Patreon. Just flicking through what I want from there. I feel I may cut off a little bit here, edit some of this out, because I go through, I don't know if I'm happy with the folder idea. If you've got any ideas on how you guys store printables so it's easy to access and see what's in there, flick me a comment, because I do not know the best way to sort this out. At the moment, they're sitting in this display folder, which keeps it nice and tidy and compact, but it makes it hard to see what I've got. Or what's, what theme of the collection is, I guess, at the time. All right, now I've pulled out bits and pieces. As you can see, the printables are sitting next to me. I knew there was some little quotes that Inky Quill had done that I wanted to put on this layout. I think it's one major one I end up putting down, and that's all it fits, really. As you can see, the photos take up a lot of the real estate, so yeah. Now I'm just sticking and plonking all my bits down. Some pieces don't, I think, stay. I think that Beautiful doesn't stay on the layout. I think I end up taking it off. I think the yellow to me just really wasn't fitting in with the rest of the colour scheme. Just fidgeting around with, again, some craft foam. You can see to pop this little die cut up pop it up a little bit to this cluster at the top. I do try and work, you would have seen, with some clusters. Clustering is really good when you're on a layout, I think, too. It makes it a bit easier. But I also then will add random pieces you'll see on the page that aren't necessarily part of a cluster. And that's cool too. Well, to me it is anyway. All right. So this video is it is Sunday here in Oz. Nearly ready to start yet again another week. So this would have been up yesterday. I just didn't get to the voiceover on Friday night, the joys of children taking my computer and using it. So I will hopefully be getting into my craft room this afternoon and filming a couple more videos to come up this week as well. But I'm trying to do a Wednesday, Saturday schedule. Let me know if that works for you when you like to watch your videos. I know for me, sometimes weekends I might get notifications in the morning, and if I'm up and having a slow day, then I might watch a couple of videos. So try and fit in with people. And then during the week, like of a night time, when you're sitting down chilling out for the night, you may not be doing anything crafty, but you might feel like a bit of inspo, so I try and fit that in with what people might be doing. All right, so you can see there I've put that really big quote in the middle. Now that kind of ended up replacing having an actual title on my layout, and again, I'm cool with that. It didn't need a big title. It wasn't a big event or anything like that. She was literally just making funny faces, and we were taking photos and doing crazy stuff just to make everyone laugh and feel a bit better. So, as I said, they were looking after me well. All right, adding this frame, and I would definitely wanted to add this word. I was thinking about putting it on some craft foam, this awesome, and then changed my mind, apart from the fact that it was far too fidgety to be doing it. I didn't feel it needed it too much. Maybe it does, could have, but, whatever. I'm pulling some things from the sticker sheet for the No Limits, and this is the Flutter by Designs. I can't remember. So this is the little, you won't see it. Oh, you might see it in the close-ups. This is the little sweary piece. As I said, it's very tiny. Now adding some little phrase pieces. I can't actually remember, sorry, what they say. I did this layout a couple of weeks ago. But it's all very much about being yourself and being fierce, and she is quite a fierce little person at 10. She certainly has her own personality. Sometimes a little too fierce, but, she can be a force to be reckoned with sometimes, my girl. Now, the red here goes really well. Green's her favourite colour, but the red here went really well with her shirt. It's a Stranger Things shirt, so it's got a bit of red on it. So that tied in really well. And as you can see, there is a little bit of blue, red, black, I guess, in the photos from her t-shirt. So I guess that helped coordinate some of the colours on this. But generally, as I said, because there was not a great deal of colour, it meant that I could play around with the colour scheme a little bit of the layout. All right, just thinking, wrapping it up, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, there we go, just adding more phrases. It's more of a, I guess you could say, as I said, this layout was more of an inspirational kind of thing for her. Just to remember who she is. Remember when we look back in time how crazy she was when she was younger. So looking at lots of bits and pieces for that. And I guess I'm kind of being a bit lazy and using the wet glue as opposed to fussing around with putting double-sided tape on the smaller pieces and putting it down. I think I do add some more bits and pieces. Yeah, I am. The mess I've made. It's tidying up a little bit. I do try and work with a fairly tidy space. Although in saying that, I usually just turn and dump things on the floor behind me and then look and go, oh, bugger, I've got to clean that up, as opposed to being on my desk. But hey, at least I got a clean workspace. I don't have to look behind me all the time. So all right, more printables here. Just adding that in. So I hope everyone is keeping well. I do hope that you are enjoying or getting a little bit of a kick out of the videos that I've been posting. I did post and forgot to share it actually the other day, a craft room tour, so feel free to pop back. It's only short, but as I said in that video, if there's anything you have questions about or any of my videos, please remember to pop them in the comments and I'm more than happy to answer those for you. And as I said, trying to keep to a regular schedule of at least starting 2 videos a week, so that way it's regular content, and try to mix it up a little bit. So I have a couple of plans in place of things I'm going to work on this afternoon. So there'll be an art journal page, some PL spreads and things like that to come. So keep eyes peeled for that if you're interested. All right, just adding some sprinkly bits to my clusters and around just to add a little bit of pops of colour and fun. I think yeah, these are enamel pieces from the No Limits collection. So there was some really cool little like stars and little globes and dots and things like that. So they were really funky. Something different to add to the layout. Good way to end it, I think. All right. All done. Showing you. Fooled ya. Fooled myself, really. What am I doing? I go nuts. Oh, adding the date there, that little paintbrush. I added the paintbrush just so you know, because she's quite creative. So just little bits that are her. All right, all done. It is really hard for me to show you some of the close-ups in the filming. So here you can see some still shots of the photo of the layout. So if you do, as I said, have any questions, comments, whatever, just pop them down below and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up again if you liked it, and subscribe, and you can keep seeing regular content from me. If there's anything you'd like to see in particular, again, please let me know. But I am so happy you stopped by, and thank you again. See you later. Bye.